I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Elastic. Nomad 2. 2 weeks in a row, people.
I'm refusing to talk out of protest.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, wow, this hasn't, probably attacked me or something. That's weird. I'll give it to you.
Riveting television.
Oh, so much going on. Oppenheimer 2. I heard, Barbie will be the Chariots of Fire this year.
Hey, I remember that guy, and that guy, and that guy, and that guy.
George, once you hit 100K, you don't have to come on my show anymore, I guess. Love him, though. Nah, he's a good man. Good man, George. Good people. Toxic Man Flu, love that dude. Always active in our chat. Culture comes down. I made him feel bad. Hey, whatever. Hey, whatever it is, right?
You're going to have to replace Jane Theory, too. You got to remove her out of the new update. So
wait a minute. Not Jane Theory. No, she won't be. She will not be taken away. No, never.
You cannot replace Jane Theory.
Not at
you
all.
You have to delete.
Mm-hmm. Never. Let's start this over. Welcome everybody to the. I'm staring at this stupid thing because I don't know where to hit the buttons. It's like, hey, I finally have some type of technology, but I can boomer it any chance I get. That was supposed to be laughter. Shit. See that?
Oh, you're doing great. You're off to a hot start.
Don't worry. There's only 8 people right now. Someone else bigger is probably live. Welcome everybody. This is The Dump. I am Scott. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking some Oppenheimer and Barbie. Was this good for Hollywood? Was it good for the theaters? Quick answer on that one. Yes, for the theaters. And we're also going to take a look at the Marvels trailer because that's just content waiting to happen, people. Just content waiting to happen.
Why would we do that?
Because we like to put ourselves in painful situations. Such as
I've had enough pain. I've seen Barbie and Oppenheimer this weekend. I'm done.
Oh, man. Well, John Boyega, I guess he turned back on his own words and he's, open to any opportunity when it comes to going back to Disney.
Oh, that's great. Just
really?
one question. Who is John Boyega?
He is an American actor.
He's actually not.
He's
but
British.
Yeah.
He's a black guy. All right. He's this black guy. That's all I could give you.
He's from one of the black eye countries somewhere in the world. Somewhere.
Let's put it this way. He is the ultimate Ray Sim. Does that help?
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Okay. All right.
And of course, it's a simp because he never got laid throughout the course of 3 movies. So
yeah, John is a shill. Yeah, no, all he did was Ray. I should have been a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the movie.
Is he open to new movie opportunities because they're talking a new Ray movie?
You know what? I'm thinking that's what it is because they're talking about a sequel to the sequels,
right?
Okay, and it's going to be Ray. I mean, that's pretty much all we've heard.
So in other words, it didn't work the first time, so now we're gonna do it all over again, and hopefully it'll work the second time.
Yep.
Great job, Disney.
Well, let's put it this way: it wasn't Ray's fault. It was all the men in the movie. Okay.
Oh, okay. Of course.
All right.
It's men's fault for everything.
I mean, it's always Finn's fault. Come on, everybody. I'm just hitting buttons now. I hope that didn't sound bad. John Boyega. Okay, so somebody posted on Twitter, respond to a Twitter post. John Boyega is the most useless character in the current Star Wars franchise, but you don't hear him saying anything on how bad that writing is. He responded, I have those discussions on set. So, I mean, the man wasn't scared. And we were talking about it when he was doing it on the dump. Like, he wasn't scared to talk about it towards the end of the third, like right before the third movie was going to come out, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's like, yeah, right when the last movie got out, he was all like, yeah, I'm done. I don't have to do this anymore. I'm out. And then it's been like, what, 4 years? And what exactly has he done in between there? So now all of a sudden, Disney's coming back a call. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'll take that paycheck again.
Right. Well, I mean, Daisy Ridley, she's been in a couple things, but like, why do you think she's doing a Rey movie?
I mean, exactly. I mean, neither one of their careers have gone absolutely anywhere since this whole thing has started.
Like, what's his name? Moon Knight.
Something Isaac.
I knew Tina would get it first. Oscar Isaac ain't knocking at the door of Disney. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to reprise a role if he doesn't want to. You know, he's a well-known, well-respected actor. The guy can't act. So back in 2020, when he spoke to GQ, he was like, talking about Lucasfilm, bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. And we all were saying that from, The Last Jedi on. We all were saying it because the first movie you thought he was going to have an important role.
Mm-hmm.
He thought maybe that him and Rey actually had something happen. And then the second movie came out and they don't even share a scene until the last 10 seconds of the movie, which is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And then by the third film, you're just like, why are you even still here?
Right. Now he's going straight to race. I don't know if it was because he's black. I just think it was because they wanted Rey to be the most special thing in the world. Granted, she was the avatar of Kathleen Kennedy in the movie. But he did continue back in 2020 to say, like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver, which I disagree. You knew what to do with Tim Talks, because he's Adam Driver. You knew what to do with these other people. But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, you effed all. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is, I enjoyed being a part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience, he said. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley. What's her nuance? Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows this. I'm not exposing anything. I mean, I don't know. Tina, did he... Right there, I thought, amen to you, but you nuked your career.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, and they couldn't have, I don't think they could have had a relationship between Rey's character and every single man on set. So if they were trying to ship him, with Kylo Ren, or her with Kylo Ren, they can't have her then be liking him too.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
I mean, hey, who knows, with this new the Star Wars movie coming out, she might be in a 3-way. So we might be in some Zendaya territory here in the next couple of months.
That movie with the tennis? What's up, Zendaya?
Next thing you know, everyone's just running train on Rey. I mean, that's just where we're at now.
Yeah, but she's in control of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. It's a respectable train.
Right. Mm-hmm. She's the engine. Okay? They're the caboose. And he didn't stop there. 2021, talking about promoting a different show. He brings it up again. Being in a big franchise, it's kind of like luxury jail sometimes for an actor when you want to do something else. Because remember, in a franchise, you're working on one character for many years, which can starve your other muscles. Speaking with somebody else, acknowledging his past comments, okay, Boyega goes on to say, that, meaning those comments, was a few years ago, so they were the subject of a particular project. However, he noted he's now open to returning to Star Wars, but I'm open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable.
Don't listen to those things I said 4 years ago. Right. That was a long time ago.
I never used straws. I forgot I had one. God,
I mean, well, when I
No,
made
it's
those
actually
comments,
sport.
when I made those comments, the iPhone 9 was a thing. Let's not pretend like
Right.
let's like dig up
Right.
old stuff, right?
Yeah, let's not look in my past. He's up. He's have a great cast attached and a terrific director. So yeah, I'm open to all opportunities. I'm sorry. This for some reason on this website, my mouse goes crazy. You know, but after the Rise of Skywalker, he wasn't. You know, he was definitely dropping bombs on people, man. So now Daisy Ridley is reprising her role, and I'm just thinking, okay, he sees dollar signs. You know, he sees dollar signs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. I told you Kylo Ren was here. Yeah, I knew young Rippa was live. That's why I was saying that. I mean, yeah, people watch the Rippa. What up, Keely? How are you? Good to see you. Tim is here. Awesome One is here. I'm sorry, I didn't even say hello to anybody that was here. Small Time Republic. That's why people leave. Jim Donegan is here. Good to see you. 314 Saber-Tooth Raptor is here. And Keith Howard, how are you? We got 15 people watching right now, so I appreciate you
Only
guys.
15?
Yeah, it's a slow start for a Saturday. Usually we get going in about 15 minutes. I don't know what it is. Someone else must stop. You know, look,
Yeah.
now we got 19. So, you know, it jumps. Fenrir Fire. I love that avatar. Hail to you, my friend. And if you're watching on Rumble, I appreciate you. Watching on YouTube, I also appreciate you. So please don't think I don't. But we got 3 people on Rumble. E. Clay Thomason is one of the people over there. I'm going to yell him out. What up, buddy? And we are also on, what else am I on? Twitch. Even though I don't know why I stream on Twitch, but I do.
I'm on
I should just do,
Twitch.
like, yeah, it was because I didn't have, before Rumble started taking off, and it was YouTube. I think I did Twitch and Odyssey or something like that. And
Yeah. Twitch and Odyssey are 2 apps I didn't install on my new phone yet.
yeah, no reason really to.
And I'm
I
like,
think
I don't even remember my login. You know.
Yeah, Odyssey I can't get back in. But Twitch, I mean, I'm gonna be doing more gaming stuff, so I'm gonna probably just do it on Twitch and YouTube maybe, and keep Rumble. I would like to get this back up and going. Our Saturdays where Rumble might be the second half of the show, you know, just exclusively on Rumble. So we'll see that. Cherry, Sherrod,
Sherrod.
Sherrod.
I don't know.
I
I'm
can't
just
say
making
it,
shit
man.
up.
Hello, everyone. Where's Jane? Jane is not here tonight. Jane is taking a break from YouTube and social media. I am going to shoot her a text on Monday to see if she'll come to one of the Song of Ice and Fire streams.
Jane hates YouTube so much she won't even appear on other people's channel. That's how much she despises Google.
Well, yeah, maybe a little bit. She just wants to, if she's going to do stuff, she's just going to do stuff that is pleasing to her to talk about. And I appreciate that about her. You know, she's doing what she needs to do, and I love her. And I can't wait till, you know, things get better and she can come back and do her own thing because she has an incredible channel. And I ride her coattails, you know?
Yep.
Even though, you know, she always says it was, you know, what's his name?
They
Trump
always come
reviewer
back.
That founder. I told him, but no big whoop. Yeah, Southern Belle, how are you? Yeah, it is me. I've been on more than usual. So we are going to talk
this is not a 3D adaptation of Scott. This is actually
not
Scott.
yet. I have Mr. Grant Gregory working on that, so I don't have to be here as much. But I missed streaming that last month. It was just personal stuff going on that took me too long to get back to. Just want to my not a bloggers, George R. R. Martin fans out there. George just wants to let you know, after all, he's talking about all the writer's strike and everything he's been working on and all the great stuff. And yes, of course, I've been working on Winds of Winter. 12 years later. Almost every day, writing, rewriting, editing, writing some more, making steady progress. Not as fast as I would like, and this is what pissed me off. Certainly not as fast as you would like, but progress nonetheless. It's like, dude, F you, man. You keep those little like, oh, you know, bold you're really, screw you. We've waited 12 years, man. He better break them into 2 books if it's this big and just give us one like next year and one in 2026. So we're all like, oh, wow, we got 2 books, which really is the one. God,
Right.
Joke's on you. I don't even watch Game of Thrones.
I just read. I mean, House of the Dragon's fun. Tina, you like House of the Dragons, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You could barely hear me. Is my audio low?
It's lower than
Uh,
usual, but like I said, I didn't know if it was my new headset because
Let me see.
my new
Hold
old
on.
headset.
Is that better? No.
not really.
Better?
That's
Sound
better.
the same.
Is it better? I don't know.
I mean, I can hear you, so I mean, it doesn't really.
Let's see if I change primal sound. Primal sound. What about it? MC? MC? No.
I mean, that
How
sounds
about
different.
this one? This one? This one? No. MC probably sounded better. MC. We'll go with MC. Give me a thumbs up if MC sounds all right.
Yeah. That's so good.
Keek. Keck. I said Keek. Sorry. Keck44 is here. Good to see you, Johnny boy. Good to see you. People are leaving Twitch for Kick. Developers seem based, and it's a 95.5. Wow. Okay. I will be starting my Kick soon because I don't even really like Twitch. I don't get much out of
Yeah,
it.
I've been trying Kick for a little bit, but it seems to be hard to actually get like an outreach on there. It doesn't trend, at least with the algorithm right now, as well as Twitch does. So it'll be a work in progress on that
Yeah.
front.
But still, you know what? Like Rumble has been a work in progress, and it does get better. I mean, since I started using Rumble to now, even the app for the phone has gotten a lot better. I still get confused on there's my channel, but yet I have another Sporking News.
Yeah.
And somehow they're connected, but they're not. Like, just make it one thing. Like, I don't understand that. Yes, he was probably speaking to me directly because I'm that narcissistic to believe that George reads my shit. I will like that small time. You should really start YouTubing, man. You're good stuff, man. He's a cool dude. Sound is at 11 and you are at a 5. Is it myself? Maybe the sound is at 11 and I'm just not giving it the power. You know, I'm not giving it oomph. But Soul
I got
Assassin's
the
here.
power.
Wow, it's low. Okay, let me try. Anything different? I don't know. Hello. Sounds louder
Now
to
you
me.
sound
Holy
better.
crap.
Yeah, now you sound a lot better.
All right, we're going with that. That's called One Button Bel Canto. Bel Canto. What's up, One Man Show? Good to see you. Yeah, so F George. We're back to this. So you both went and saw Barbie. You both went and saw Oppenheimer. I saw neither. So I'd like to speak on that because I thought it was actually kind of brilliant what I don't know if it was the theaters or Hollywood or the producers or whatever or the marketing, but they made it was like it was either a double feature or they were against each other. Like there was some marketing that was like, go see the double feature, Barbie in the morning, Oppenheimer at night, and others were like, who's gonna win, Oppenheimer or Barbie? And Barbie will win the weekend first off because it's a shorter movie, getting probably 1.5 times more viewings this weekend than Oppenheimer would get because it's about an hour less, maybe even a little more. But overall, I believe Oppenheimer is going to blow it out of the water. What did you guys think of the two movies? We'll start with Barbie and Barbie's biggest fan, Jacob.
Barbie, like, I'll be honest with you. Had I not seen Joyride and The Blackening and House Party this year, this would have been one of my worst movies of the year. But I gotta be honest with you, there's been so many other movies that are way worse than this. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying that this film is good in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that there's worse out there. Like, if you think that this film is bad, go watch Joyride. That's about 1,000 times more degenerate and awful than this movie could ever dream to be. This film, there was a kernel of a somewhat decent film at certain points of this movie, but as we've seen time and time again, the messaging always gets in the way of the actual story. And this has been the problem with Hollywood for the last several years, is that even when they have something that you can hold on to, it's like, yeah, but how can we get this to benefit us? And that's pretty much what the film becomes. In case you guys haven't heard by now, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard 1,000 YouTube channels talk about this, but literally the entire plot of the movie is that Barbie's having some kind of existential crisis, due to some woman who's playing with her in the real world, so she has to go find that person over there. While that's happening, Ken's in the real world, and he falls in love with the patriarchy because for once in his life, men are actually important. So he decides to bring the patriarchy back to Barbie Land and turn Barbie Land into essentially a Buffalo Wild Wings / UFC gym. And the Barbies all freak out because it's like, no, this is not how things are supposed to go. So the whole plot of the film is that we need to give Barbie Land back to the women because it's not about the men, damn it. And then some other nonsense happens in between there, and then there's your film. So that's too long didn't read version of Barbie, 1 out of 5.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Real quick to talk to that one. Back in July, I did see a report. Mattel has 45 toy-based movies in development. Now, development means most of them probably won't hit the screen, but they have 45 right now in development, which I find to be, that's crazy. That's it. Barbie is just the beginning. Tina, what about Barbie?
What about Barbie? All right, so it's trying to be a story about a woman once again with her existential crisis, but it's almost like taking her tween, who's almost a teenager, but almost as tall as America Ferrera, so that was a little weird. But
I heard she was a snarky little.
Yeah, she was kind of a little,
Yeah.
a twitch is what I try to call, young girls that are being bitches.
It's like to call it
twitches instead.
I think Beavis and Butthead used to call them turd burglars. That's what I like to use.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, it was. I thought it was really kind of interesting that they were attempting to say that the mother character was trying to deal with the fact that she's had her child doesn't need her anymore, and did she make the right decisions in her life? And she's kind of feeling the same tension that her daughter, in a sense, is having as a tween, going, the world is expecting me to act this way, but I don't know who I am yet, blah, blah, blah. So I felt like they were trying to make that movie, and it is in there if they would just dial down all the, Ken is superfluous,
Right.
and
so that should have been the soul of the movie.
It's funny. She's on the borderline having like a mental breakdown. I'm thinking to myself, well, that's the cost of being a single mother. Then we reveal later on in the film, oh wait, she's actually not a single mother. The husband's just there somewhere, completely divorced from the actual plot itself. And then he's just portrayed in one scene as a complete buffoon, and then we just move away from him, never to bring him up again. So it's just like, okay, fine.
Yeah. And before
he wasn't a second scene, but he was also a buffoon too.
Yeah. Before you finish your Barbie review there, Tina, everybody welcome Mark to the show.
Oh, applause.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're moving
Thank
up
you,
brother. You're moving up.
Yes, sir.
How are
Yes,
you, my
sir.
friend?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me if the voice might sound a little bit scratchy. I was yelling at the kid earlier, and I'm not a yeller, so it kind of took its toll on me. He takes advantage of that, but he had to get it today.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
Yeah, my my 5-year-old daughter, she 6 now. Oh crap. My middle child, she lost it today. She lost her ever loving. She was going off on my. It was to the point where it was so funny that we were both trying not to laugh and be stern. One of those times where like the kid is just like, and you yell about this, and he bit me, but you didn't yell at him. It's just one of those things. It was hilarious.
She had a Jan Brady moment. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But,
that's where you just pat her on the head. It's like, oh, you.
Yeah.
The toughest job you'll ever love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jim wants you to know you have a nice shirt there.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Ha!
Rock it. So, Tina, what else did you have about Barbie before? Did you see any of these movies, Barbie or Oppenheimer, Mark?
No.
All right,
I definitely want to see Oppenheimer. Barbie, absolutely not.
Yeah, no need for it. But go on, Tina. Finish the Barbie, and then you guys could tell us a little bit about Oppenheimer.
I think, like I was mentioning, that most of the Ken stuff should have been taken out of it. I mean, it could have been the fact that as soon as Barbie Land is starting to fall apart because girls and women don't know how to play with Barbies anymore, kind of situation. The world has changed. Trying to get them grow up too fast. Stuff. There's all kinds of things they could have done to really kick the movie up. So it gets a 4 or 5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
The visuals, once again, the version of the movie I saw wasn't very clear. So, but I did hear that the scenes that I've seen on social media, the visuals looked absolutely gorgeous, and it was really great the way that they remade all of the classic outfits that I had for Barbie, and even at the beginning, Mr. Bojan was laughing, at the jokes like about men in a sense because
Mhm.
I mean we had one Ken among myself and my two sisters.
Right.
Ken was just he showed up to I don't know like there was a little you get married and you mash your faces together and then you don't see Ken again forever because all the cool clothes are for Barbie and and the baby and all the cool
Right.
stuff was for Barbie and the baby. So Ken really wasn't a necessary part of our play, but
Right.
we had
Well,
a father in our lives. We didn't think that fathers were needed. It's just
right.
we were playing Barbie. She had cooler stuff,
It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to make a social statement with how you play with your own Barbies. I know my neighbor.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, go tell your story and then I'll go.
Well, I was gonna say my neighbor. Whoa, I just went down a bit. My neighbor, when she was younger, we were about the same age, about a few months apart. My mom we'd go over and I'd have to play, and she always wanted to play Barbies at her house, so I would be the one Ken doll that she had. And he usually by the end of it moved out, got his own place, and was hooking up with like the dark-haired Barbie. And we stopped playing Barbie pretty quick because for me, when I was a kid in the 80s, boys played with GI Joes, Transformers, stuff like that. Girls played with Barbies. There was some crossover here and there, but for the most part, that's what it was. So like, you're already making a movie for women, and then it seems like from what I have seen reports, now granted that's people's reviews, it seems that it's definitely heavy-handed for women and not men, and actually kind of want to make men seem like idiots. And
so basically, most Hollywood films of the
right,
last
it's a
7 years.
50% movie. It's not made for us.
That's what it seems like too. And I just want to point out too, we
Well,
as men or young men who were growing up, we did a better job of inclusion when it came to the opposite sex, because someone just mentioned G.I. Joe in the chat. When we had G.I. Joe, especially in the 80s, we had Scarlet, we had Lady J, we had CoverGirl, we had the Baroness, we had, and they were all strong and they were all
powerful,
capable, but Barbie, all they gave us was Ken. And here this movie is making a joke of masculinity the way that it is. So I don't want to hear anything from women out there talking about what men do and how men exclude women and stuff like that, when within G.I. Joe we accepted all of that. But Barbie makes fun out of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to check that little box for the men right there.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Like, we're saying that this isn't a film for us. This honestly isn't a film for little girls either. Like, because the overwhelming majority of the content matter and even like the funniest bits of this film are not for like, these like 8 to 15-year-old girls. This is all jokes that like 40 to 30-year-old women who have been in like bitter past relationships would identify with. Like, a lot of the content here of this film is not going to identify with, like, a 12-year-old girl isn't going to identify with the concept of, oh yeah, now I'm depressed because I broke up and I'm just going to eat ice cream and get fat. It's like she's 12. Like, she doesn't have no concept of whatever like the hell you're talking about here. And look, if you wanted to do a quote unquote social commentary movie, here's what this film should have been. If you absolutely had to go in that direction, you focus the film on Ken and Barbie. They both go into the real world, and as they go into the real world, they go into two different sides. You have your uber feminist Me Too side that Barbie goes into, and then you have like the Andrew Tate manosphere side that Ken goes into, and they both get ideas from all of these like just absolutely like toxic people in the world. They start adopting these things in the real world, and then you bring it all back by realizing that, oh wait, I realized now that we were actually happier when we weren't a part of this whole like society that they were trying to push on us from both sides. And turns out we actually do need each other. Women do need men, and men do need women. And then they go back to each other and have a happy little send off there in Barbie Land, wherever the case may be. You can still get your little shots in at everyone in society that you want to take shots at, and you actually have an entertaining movie that people be like, hey, you know what, that was actually pretty decent. But of course, because you have to take shots at both sides. Well, we can't do that because we don't want to make fun of ourselves because we're the right ones here. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So
Yeah,
instead, you
they
just
had
get
other things on their minds.
yeah. Instead, you just get the literally America Ferrera's character being the 30, 40-year-old woman having an existential crisis, talking about that. Oh, life is so hard because we have to be perfect. We have to be absolutely perfect for men, but men can just be mediocre and the world loves them. And it's like, I can literally hear Greta Gerwig crying as this scene is going on. Like, that's how on the nose and over the head a lot of this dialogue is.
Yeah,
and
not to mention, there's a few clips that have been shown on Twitter here, and apparently in the beginning they had little girls killing their babies or bashing the babies on the ground. Baby dolls.
Yeah.
Like,
what they were
keep in mind, guys.
they were trying to say that the girls were now no longer just stuck playing mom, because the only dolls they had to play with were baby dolls for all these years. So it was right about the time that where they were trying to tell women that you can be more than a mother, because you can be astronaut Barbie and President Barbie and all that
You see,
stuff.
that's
And
more of
nothing
the
was done well.
that's more of like the surface level like explanation to it. I saw it a completely different way. For me, that was, keep in mind, we have to keep in mind like who wrote and directed this whole thing. It was their way of saying, yeah, little girls don't have to just, the only thing that we can grow up to be is mothers anymore. We can be more than just mothers. We can be astronauts and Supreme Court justices. So let's smash these little baby dolls in a very aggressive, borderline psychotic way. And now we can all worship the altar of Barbie, because Barbie has come and now she can tell us that we can be whatever we want now. And then even throughout the course of the film, I talked about earlier how the Kens basically hijacked everything. All the Barbies who were still in Barbie land basically become like the pseudo boyfriends of like all the Kens, and they were all like, literally like in the film, they're like, but you are a Supreme Court justice, you can't be hanging out like with these men. It's like, you're better than this. It's like this idea that you can't be in other words, you can't have a job and have a man like at the same time. You have to pick between one of the two. You know what I mean? So that idea of like, well, I had to get an abortion because if I didn't get an abortion, I wouldn't be a Supreme Court justice. And now we have like a justice who has like 5 kids. So it's like, stop this whole narrative.
Well, there it is.
The
And
girls
also,
were all dressed up in skimpy outfits and were being subservient to
It was
the Kens.
basically Buffalo Wild Wings / Hooters. So,
but guys,
Exactly.
I don't want to get too far away from the babies thing, because the sinister thing about things like that is that I think most people will admit or have observed that this is not necessarily a movie for little girls, right? But because it's Barbie, right? The slick thing about the force of evil is that it knows what it's doing. It knows that it's a toy that's beloved by generations of little girls, right? So people are going to bring their little girls. People are going to watch it when it comes to streaming with their little girls. In the power of imagery, where you have little girls bashing babies on the ground, you got to see it like that, all right? Looking at it as grown people, as adults and stuff, we have to challenge ourselves to see it the way that our little ones see it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, if you have daughters, which you do, Scott, and and people have out there, they almost have an instinctual thing inside of them where they cradle their dolls. This is the reason why they have doll babies in the first place, and they grow up to be loving, nurturing mothers most of the time. So that's a very, very powerful image to have little girls in front of little girls in a movie theater bashing and destroying the images of babies. Even if we get the joke, we have to understand the way this works, the way the way the evil works, the way the devil works. It only needs one child to grab their little baby sister or something like that in real life who's confused and bash that baby, God forbid, on the ground. You know what I mean? And the job has been done.
You're absolutely right.
So I didn't want to let that point.
It was a they were trying to model, as Ginger Ninja said, they were trying to model the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey. And as an adult, I can see that. And I can also judge every mom out there who takes their daughter under the age of 13 to see this movie, because it's rated PG-13 for a reason, and start being a respectable parent and stop giving into, the social pressure of, but mom, everybody else is getting to see the Barbie movie. You know what? Get freaking over it and be a parent.
That's why I asked you guys. I was like, I want to make sure, because my wife was like, I heard of this Barbie movie. She doesn't know much about it. She's like, I wonder if the girls would like it. I'm like, well, pump the brakes, because because I'm the one who watches the movies.
Well,
Like, let me ask a couple people that actually saw it, because you're right, Mark. My daughter, my 5-year-old, again, my middle daughter, this morning she has a little boy baby doll she calls him Elephant. His name's been Elephant for years, and I wasn't holding him correctly, and he was going to be hurt. So I had to cradle Elephant. When I brought him to the table, I had to go downstairs, get a second, one of those seats that attach like to a chair, like a carrying
booster
one.
seat?
Yeah,
Oh,
booster
okay, gotcha.
seat for him with a
okay.
tray and everything, because she wanted to put him in my son's high chair, and I was like, no, I'll get the booster seat for him. And she locked him in and made sure he was also like you're absolutely right. That's nature. Okay. It's not her watching shows, because most of the shows don't show, caring for babies. You know what I mean? So it's like, she just instinctually feels like, okay, I have to protect this little guy. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. And it's like, I would not want her to see that, because I think it would traumatize her.
Well, not only that, like that's the more sinister part of the way that they marketed. People were saying, "Oh, this film was marketed brilliantly." It's like, yeah, it actually was, but not for the right reasons, because the film is just simply titled Barbie, right? So just hearing that, you think that, as a parent, it's like, oh, this will be a nice little family film that I could take all of the girls to go see, and it's gonna be like Super Mario was like a few months ago. It's like, oh, it's just gonna be an innocent little film. We can all watch it together, and we'll have one good laugh. And it's about 40 minutes into the film, you're realizing, wow, there's a lot of like sexual innuendos and a lot of jokes that really aren't appropriate for very. There's even like more suggestive ones than that.
Sounds funny, but not for kids, right?
I mean, at one point, like Barbie and Ken are like talking to like construction workers who, of course, are hassling Barbie, because everyone is sexually harassing Barbie the second she shows up in the real
her
world.
Ass gets slapped the minute she walks in, like comes into Venice Beach. Like a man walks up and just slaps her ass. Like
it was maybe 2 minutes in.
Oh, okay, 2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
well, then
and then of course,
her ass,
there's this weird dialogue. It's like, oh, I think you guys are making some sexual innuendos about me, but just so you know, I don't have a vagina and he doesn't have a penis. And that was kind of like the whole like laugh joke. And it was like I said, I noticed like some people were like looking around. It's like, I thought this was like a kid's film. It's like, no, you wasn't. They suckered you. Good luck. They got your money.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't surprise me
right now. But go ahead, please.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't surprise me that it's open big. People are acting like this is some type of victory for, against the get woke, go broke crowd. I mean, listen, Barbie's a popular thing. It always has been. Right. So, and it's not like it's Star Wars or anything like that. It hasn't been proven already that they're like trashing it and everything, So why wouldn't people go to see this? Barbie has a lot of fans out there, and they're going to love it no matter what, because of all the pink and the girliness and all of that stuff. But I think as time goes on, I think people will get over themselves and start to wonder or ask themselves how good this actually was as a children's toy to have it be presented this way. I mean, to me, it's slimy. It's slimy, just like everything else in Hollywood these days. Yeah. When you look back on it, you're going to be like, yeah, they put one over on us. Yeah, it was PG-13 and everything. And Issa Rae came out and was talking about, I mean, I did the video. She was talking about how this is absolutely, bashing, the patriarchy. Yeah. She said all of this stuff. So it was out there.
I mean,
but
every star was like literally every star of this movie was talking about how feminist this movie was like 2 weeks before the movie came out. And somehow people were still surprised that, oh, wow, it's overwhelmingly feminist. It's like, yeah, they told you it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What gets me, and I thought it would have a huge weekend. I didn't think it would be the largest of the year, but I thought it would have a huge one. I mean, anyone who thought Oppenheimer would beat this weekend didn't really look at it. I mean, Oppenheimer's a longer movie, so it gets less screenings. This is a cultural thing, Barbie. I think it's going to have a big 1 or 2 weeks, and then the third week you're going to see a big drop off, while Oppenheimer, I think, will be steady, or if not even more, grow.
Yeah. Well, it's not a surprise that this movie is doing well. I mean, Barbie is one of the most recognizable brands in the world, right? So people hear, oh, there's a Barbie movie out. I know it because I identify with Barbie, or I know Barbie. But what they didn't know is that a bunch of 40-year-old feminist women were basically going to take that concept and then hijack their ideology like into the film. And non-suspecting people walked in and got a completely different movie than they were expecting. So it's like, I mean, sometimes you got to be a little bit smarter when it comes to stuff like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we talked about Barbie. Okay, and we're probably keep talking about Barbie, but let me hear what
Oh,
both of you
just
think
real quick, just
finish
real
it off.
quick, just in case you
Speech it
guys,
off.
here's a little bit of black fill for both of you guys. Greta Gerwig, her next two projects is one, the Disney Snow White thing debacle, which has already been lampooned just by the set photos. So yeah, she's wrote that one as well. So
Mm-hmm.
you can expect that one to be terrible. And then they also announced that they gave her Chronicles of Narnia on Netflix. So imagine this
Are you
woman
kidding me?
who wrote one of the most famous Barbie movies ever, being in
any
control of C.S. Lewis's work. So
Oh
yeah,
my God,
good.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I just saw posters for Percy Jackson, the new remake. I guess it's going to probably be a series. Percy Jackson's a white kid. I was shocked by that. The girl though is black.
Probably gay.
The girl is black, you know, because she's related to the Olympians. And the other kid looks Middle Eastern. So we got that going for it. But Percy Jackson's white. I was shocked. That's now how I see things. When I first look at it, I'm like, I had a tweet earlier. I'm like, why is it okay for European folklore or folk tales to be culturally appropriated? But yet, like the live action Aladdin, they kind of tried as hard as they could to stick to respecting the source material, but even they got attacked because the people didn't look Arabian enough, even though there's no Arabia right now. You know what it was ridiculous.
Well, what was even funnier was the fact that people were complaining about like the casting rules, like Cleopatra. Like at the same time, they're literally trying to defend the Little Mermaid casting with like no sense of irony whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, she's doing Narnia. That sucks, man. I'm just looking at people talking about that. Thank you everybody for being here. We got 40 people watching live. We have about 5 people on the Rumble. So thank Ken Kersey, Sporking Volume C. Okay, so that must have been a while ago. I think my volume is better now. So let's hear it. Tina, why don't you start with Oppenheimer and then we'll move to Jacob. I just want quick feelings on it. Nothing spoilerly. I mean, we know the bomb goes off. Pretty much, we figure that part out.
It does.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Come on,
Tony
spoiler
Stark has
alert,
something
man.
To do with it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. Well, I think it's the most Christopher Nolan of Christopher Nolan movies. Absolutely. As I mentioned, I can't remember if it was in Twitter or Facebook, that I should have been better prepared. I needed a notebook, a timeline, and both earplugs and a headset, like a speaker next to me, because there's the sound that gets really, really loud, that, you know, had me jumping out of the seat a couple of times. But then there were also parts of the movie that you couldn't hear the dialogue because of the bad sound mixing. So it was definitely Christopher Nolan. The acting, amazing. If Robert Downey Jr. doesn't get nominated for an Oscar for his performance, I think that they've robbed him.
Really?
But
not only him, but Emily Blunt too. I think is going to get one as well.
Oh, I hope so too. She was amazing, especially that one scene in the interrogation near the end of the movie was pretty amazing. Yeah. And my husband said that his biggest problem is, even though, you know, he's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to the history, he kept getting lost in the skipped timelines.
So yeah, it was
like,
going
did this
back
happen
and
before
forth,
that?
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So which is typical of Nolan, of course. But I mean, I enjoyed it. There were parts about it I think that could have been better. Obviously, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I initially wanted to give it a 6 because of some of the bad parts, but then the acting was so amazing I couldn't. So that's where I got 7.
So I want to go with this one because this is a really good question from GZDR4Ev. I think Frozen right now for girls, and probably about 5 years ago, whenever it first came out, was definitely a bigger impact on girls than Barbie at the time. Barbie is more of the consistent over the decades. Frozen was like just a cultural bomb when it came out. But I have to say, watching, first of all, I wasn't doing YouTube back then, but when Frozen came out, I did have my issues with it, but I sat down and watched it before my daughter did. And I have to say, yes, it's about a woman who actually fears being around people, not just men. I didn't take that men were not needed. I mean, there was male figures in there that with her sister were very important, relationships as they moved on to save Elsa. So I can't say that represents right. If I'm saying this correctly, if you understand what I mean, like, yes, Elsa was taking herself away from people, that goddamn straw, taking herself away from people and breaking into seeing who she really was, not hiding herself anymore, becoming this powerful woman. But there also was a major storyline of her sister and Sven, I forgot what his name was, trying to find her and creating their bond. So yeah, she got screwed over by one guy, Elsa, but another man, the sister got screwed over by another man, but another man was a good human being, supportive, not an idiot completely. Helping her, find her sister. What's that?
I was going to say Sven was the reindeer.
Oh shit! I know. Then the other one's something. I can't remember.
No, yeah, I can't remember his name either. I just was laughing.
I just know I always
that-
know
that.
fan.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
Go on, Tina.
Tina. Yeah, Tina.
I think that what made Frozen so amazing, I mean, and my eldest is 23 and a half, and we have gone to Disney probably about every other year since he was born. It's one of the things that I was able to bless my kids with when they were young. And I did see, from, even though I'm a mom of boys, I saw the craziness of Frozen, especially at the Disney parks. And what I liked about the movie, and what I think was the bigger impact than I Don't Need No Man, was more sisters and the importance of sisterhood and how they hold each other up, and how important family is, and that. So that's kind of what I thought was the great thing about Frozen.
Yeah, perfect way of putting it, Tina. I should have hit that too. The aspect was Barbie could have been about the story, like you said, about the mom and the daughter, but it was lost in there. But Mark, you were going to say something too.
Yeah, so what he said, the comment there is, I don't think anything influences little girls more than Barbie, over generations, but intention is everything. And I don't think that Frozen intended to attack manhood or anything like that. There might have been some elements in there because, of course, the young women were, learning empowerment for themselves and everything. Right. But the thing with the other movie there, Barbie, it was intended to attack manhood. Everybody behind the scenes said that. So, of course, it was going to come through loud and clear. It was a hurtful movie in that way. For everybody who could enjoy it, everything is always going to be subjective, but they literally said that's what the movie intended to do. So therein lies the difference for me.
Right. No, I think that's a perfect way of putting it, Mark. That Frozen had an evil guy who played the sister, but it also had a hero. So it wasn't the intent to make men all evil. Yes, men thought they weren't, oh, two young girls, we could take advantage of them, but they were proven wrong, but it wasn't, I didn't feel like they were attacking men because, again, you just need one positive male role in a movie for us to say, okay, you had one. These movies nowadays, they don't have any. All the men are idiots. All the men are deadbeats. All the fathers are evil, or they're dead. It's just, there's never that support system from a man because a woman needs to do it herself.
Then you got people like Keke Palmer who's teaching women that being a single mother is empowering. You don't need no man, even if he did knock you up not too long ago. Just go raise the baby yourself because you're a boss bitch.
Yeah, we've been dealing with that shit in the community for a long time. You know what I mean? Too long. But all of that stuff is it's very unfortunate, y'all.
Yeah.
This is why I said you can't let TV and movies raise your kids anymore because they're going to be thrown into exactly right. But they're going to be thrown into a completely warped worldview if you let the television and the movies raise them and get all their opinions from. So we're at that point
and
now.
Also too. Yeah, I just want to say too, the whole I heard so much about this Snyder cut joke, right? And once again, I saw the clip on Twitter, and I was like, it was overrated because everybody acted like it was so hilarious. But I think what it was is that everyone just welcomed the chance to laugh at a particular branch of the fandom. Now, I'm not one of those Snyder cultists or anything like that. I was happy that they got the Snyder cut because I understood what I understood what motivated that whole thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was born out of tragedy because the man couldn't finish due to his personal tragedy. You know, so people wanted to see that vision be completed, but it was also the tragedy behind it too. You know what I mean? Like, give him a chance to finish, you know, because of what happened with his daughter and stuff like that. So I know they went for the low hanging fruit. It's always fun to laugh at something that you don't understand. And you know me, I'm not a stranger to laughing at people or poking fun at people myself first, of course.
Amen.
But I was just like, dude, okay, you know, for people to make the big deal about it that they made about it, it wasn't nearly as hilarious as people acted like it was.
But here's
You
the
know,
thing:
'cause I was
Someone
like,
the
someone
joke
find it, we'll
itself
play it.
wasn't funny. Here's why people thought it was hilarious. It's because for years now they've held a resentment over the Snyder fans because essentially Warner Brothers gave them what they wanted, and they come from the mindset of they don't like having the studios pander to fans because they come from the mindset of we're going to tell you what you want, we're not going to give you what you want. And the fact that
Right.
Warner Brothers gave them what they want by releasing the Snyder Cut, that they're used to, you know, studios calling you racist and sexist and homophobic and transphobic because you don't like certain movies that they support. Like that's the type of treatment of the fandom that they enjoy. So when the studio goes, okay, look, you guys wanted this for years, so here, we're gonna give it to you, go watch it on Max. It's like they resent that, and that's a big part of the reason why they hate the Snyderverse more than anything else. Hell, there were people who were upset that Sonic listened to the fans that were saying, hey, look,
Yeah.
your design is absolutely terrible, you gotta fix this. And then Paramount said, no, you know what, you're right, we're gonna fix this thing, we're gonna redo it, and then we're gonna present it in the movie. And it worked out for Sonic because everyone was like, okay, cool, you guys listened and it looks way better, and we're gonna go support the movie. But like I said, these psychopaths like to resent that idea of the fans getting what they want at the end of the day. So,
Right. And
right.
if you can find the joke, link it. I'll play it because I haven't seen it myself.
Yeah, I'm checking Twitter now for it, but I think they're making a bigger deal about the joke than it really is because it was one of many comments that were supposed to be stereotypically male, like,
Right.
"Oh, go and tell him that you've never seen The Godfather before and he needs to explain it to you," or
Right.
"Go and tell him you don't understand this sport and he needs to, you know, show you how to do it." It was just a series of stereotypical, you know, alpha male traits that they were making fun of. So
Right.
and there's the other thing,
I
like
have a
it
feeling
wasn't
we need to
even
also let be like you said, Mark. Like you have to take a joke. Like they were trying. Like don't take it so personally all the time. Like even like the fascist Batman joke. Like if you were not from Gotham and you hear about a man going around in a suit who's just a vigilante, you know, like that is a funny comment from a conspiracy theory type character. And I'm not defending Blue Beetle because I haven't seen it yet.
if it came from anyone else but George Lopez, I think it would have went over a lot better.
I got you. But like we took it to the next level. Even I got pissed at the beginning. Then I was like, wait a minute. The character is a conspiracy theorist. He's going to think Batman's probably a fascist, you know?
I have the clip here real quick if you want to play.
Let me just read this real quick, too. This is Biggles Metz. He is a member. You could become a member. I don't have the link on me. Or, you know, shoot a super chat. Do whatever you want. I'm monetized again. I can't believe it. But he says Sporking would have made a good Ken. Thanks, man. Are you saying no, I mean, small is not nothing, bro. Thank you. All right, let's see this thing.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't understand, like, even in the context of this scene, because it's like, it wasn't just men who were into the Snyder Cut, so I don't know why this whole joke was labeled at men specifically, but yeah, this is the whole thing here.
Wait, I did write a book. It's like I've been in a dream where I was somehow really invested in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. But what you said
Wait a minute.
broke me out of it.
I don't. Could you just play that one more time? I must have just missed where it was funny.
Oh yeah, I'll play it one more time. Like I said, it's literally such a like
A throwaway line.
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
I did write a book. It's like I've been in a dream where I was somehow really invested in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? Because
just
your whole life.
just lame, just freaking lame, man.
Yeah.
You could have made it funny. I'm not saying
Right.
that there's not, humor to be had there, but that was just freaking corny.
There's 1,000 better ways to pull off that punchline than the way it was delivered in that movie. But like I said, they were only concerned with taking a shot at Snyder fans in that scene. Like they didn't care about actually trying to make it funny. They was like, no, we got them.
I like this one. Greer from Gilead. I got Greer. For $4.99, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If the real world is so awful for women and little girls, why isn't every Barbie having an existential crisis in Barbie Land?
Oh,
why is it only one?
It's explained because Margot Robbie is just a stereotypical Barbie. So like she's not special. She's just like the basic Barbie. Well, everyone else
she's
is
not like lawyer Barbie or Okay.
Right.
She's just basic old Barbie.
And it has to do with her connection to because the mom starts playing with the Barbie dolls her tween is no longer interested in because she was going to like throw it away or donate it or something like that. And the mom kept the doll. And the mom, once again, is trying to like deal with her life. So for whatever strange reason, she's playing with Barbies. And the Barbie starts to absorb some of this crisis, this identity crisis and negativity from the mom. So now everything isn't perfect in Barbie land. Like, the pretend water is now cold instead of the correct temperature, and the milk is now spoiled even though there's really no milk in the carton anyway. And it's just,
there's some degree of this. It sounds like a ripoff of the Lego movie to me too. Like that whole everything is awesome but it's not awesome, and they splice it out with the real world and disillusionment and everything. I'm seeing a little bit of that in there too. Tying it in with the toy and everything.
There's probably a couple movies like I'm kind of thinking of that where they become aware. I just can't
Toy Story is in there too.
Yeah, they're more aware. Well, except for Buzz. Buzz isn't aware. You're right. There's a couple movies like that though, where they become aware and they start growing and blah 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 blah. But I'm glad we talked about it because I had a feeling like I didn't want to be that guy to my wife, but I was like, hey, have you really looked at the reviews or what the movie's about? Like, no, it's Barbie. And that's how they get a lot of people. They don't look at it.
Like, here's the thing: if you want to take like a shot at like the Snyder cut, what you would do is like set up a joke where you're like, "I've been with Ken all day. We've been watching the Snyder cut, and there's still 3 more hours left." Like that would be like a funny choice. That literally got more laughed than what they did in the movie. So I can literally pull a better joke out of my butt.
And let me clear one more thing up because this is something I see on Twitter a lot too. If you're a grown man, middle-aged man talking about Barbie, then there's something wrong with your life. Look, grown middle-aged men, we tend to be this thing called fathers. You know what I mean? And fathers tend to care about what their kids watch. Okay? So it's not just, middle-aged men sitting around talking about, I want to watch Barbie. I don't like Barbie. No, you actually have to be plugged in to what your kids are looking at or what they're reading, what they're doing outside, things like that. It's called being a parent. Okay. So please stop with that bullshit about, if you're a grown man, you shouldn't have anything to say about this. Right. It's like
this movie wasn't doing good, Mark. If this movie wasn't doing good, they'd be begging us to go see it. That's the thing that pisses me off when they tell us not to go see a movie like the new Charlie's Angels or whatever the other ones were. And they're like, we don't want you to go see it. And then 8 months later, they're pissed off that we don't go see it. Well, there's reasons for that. This movie, it's like you're taking a toy that is beloved by girls. Beloved to the point where, girls get collectible ones for Christmas. There's special Barbies. Like they have a special thing to a lot of women. I mean, there's probably like 30 of them in the next room. And probably 6 of them are my girls. Barbie. No, but that was supposed to be a giggle. Shit. But no,
please laugh. Clap. Please clap.
Please clap, everybody. Cheers. Yay. But what bothers me is that when you do defend something or you say, well, this isn't right, and you're a male, they attack you for being just a male, not being father, not being a brother, not being a son, not being a good person, just being a male. And that's what bothers me about stuff like that. Because this movie, there definitely is young kids going to see it, and it is not the right movie for them. Not the right movie for them, but yet I'm going to be called, oh, you're just a sexist. You're just a patriarchal, agenda. I missed out on the patriarchy, all right? I missed out on that. All that good stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've lived through that, and I'm really tired of young women now complaining about how hard it is in the corporate. You know what, bitch? You be the only woman in a room, the only woman programmer in a room full of men telling you don't know what the hell you're talking about because of your gender.
Right.
I lived through that. My grandmother lived through things 1,000 times worse than that. We've all seen Mad Men.
Mm-hmm.
But
God, I
women
wish I
now, I
lived
mean,
through
they've
that.
got all these girls can code clubs and special scholarships and mentoring programs that are just for women. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's not, you
Mhm.
are not being, discriminated against as a
Right.
woman in any field right now.
God, no, you're
Unless
protected.
you're a 120-pound, 4'11" girl who wants to be a fireman. Guess what? You can't do it.
I won't say where I work, but my buddy who's been doing, we'll call it planning department. He's been in the planning department for over 10 years. Father, 3 kids, great guy. A girl 6 months in has no clue. They both went for a supervisor's job in a new department for planning. He didn't get the job, she did, and now he is teaching her how to do her job as her subordinate. Like, physically was told by the upper management, you need to teach her. And she's like, he's in his late 30s. She's about 26, single. So don't give me shit that women don't get jobs over men, because I see it in my field. If a woman goes for a job because it's a male dominant field, they get the job usually.
Yeah,
'Cause
unless
people don't
you're
wanna be
trying to
seen.
be the starting center for the New York Knicks, you're not being oppressed in any field right now. So just stop.
Yeah.
So far, but you have to protect womanhood anyway, or womanhood, because you got men identifying as women, getting into your field and competing with you and things like that. So it's all messed up now. It's so confusing.
I mean, and then this film had a trans Barbie too. They didn't tell you outright it was trans, but it was clearly a dude. So.
Well, it's obvious. Cam, have a good weekend. We love you, man. Thank you for being here.
By the way, Oppenheimer, 4 out of 5.
Oh yeah, please. We forgot to even talk about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Oppenheimer.
Yeah. So this is going to be up there with like one of Nolan's best movies that he's done so far. It's not a perfect film. I think it's behind like Dunkirk and The Dark Knight. But with this movie, it is slow to start. Like, it does take a while for the film to get going. But when it really hits like the second and third act, like, you don't even care about how long it is. Like, you just want more. And it really just goes to show you the difference between a great director like Nolan and essentially mostly everyone else in Hollywood outside of a few names, because there's people that are in this film who you would not expect a great performance out of whatsoever, who arguably steal the film. And in a lot of ways, like what was his name? Eldenreich, who played Solo in that Disney movie. Keep in mind, it was only 5 years ago where Lucasfilm was throwing this guy under the bus, saying that he can't act, he can't be Han Solo or whatnot. So just completely threw him under the bus and almost tarnished his career. He has one of the best performances in this film, like out of nowhere. Like, he did an outstanding
You're talking about the guy
job.
who played a young Harrison Ford in a different movie? Wasn't good. Yeah, he would have been perfect Solo. But go ahead.
No. He's talking about Alden, who actually did play Solo.
Oh, the one that played it.
You're talking about
in
Gruber, Anthony and Gruber. You're talking about him.
Yes. Okay.
No, this is Alden.
So Alden actually was in this movie and had a great. Oh, I didn't even know
did a great job. Okay. I mean, but it goes to show you, like, when you have someone like Christopher Nolan, like, who knows what he's doing and knows how to get the best out of his actors, like. Everyone in this film did amazing. Even Josh Beck from Jake and Josh had a great little role, even though he had a very like minor role like in this movie. But it's like everyone in this film brought their A game to this film, and it was because they knew that Nolan was the guy in charge. So this is the best acted film of 2023.
Big ensemble, too. It's Cillian Murphy's character, but it's
a big ensemble.
Movie. Okay.
Yeah, and even then you have like a bunch of like, notable cameos too. Like Rami Malek is in this film for a little bit. Gary Oldman has a cameo in this film as well. So
I love him.
So this is especially, like I said, we were talking about this earlier. Robert Downey Jr. and Emily Blunt are definitely going to at least get nominated for an Academy Award. I don't know if they'll win. Maybe Robert has a better chance of winning than Emily has at this point, but they both do an astounding job. There's a scene where like Robert just kind of like breaks down and like goes like full mask off, and it's just absolutely brilliant. And Emily Blunt is a character here where we talk about, you know, how Hollywood likes to think of strong female leads, about how they're perfect, they don't have any flaws, and then they have any flaws, it's the men in their life and stuff like that. Like this was a very, very flawed character. She's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Like you even begin to hate her like in the first part of the movie, but she becomes full circle, redeems herself, and she has one of the best performances like in this film by anybody. Like she's just that good of an actress in this movie. So everything we said about Barbie, the complete opposite can be applied to Oppenheimer. If you have a chance to go see Oppenheimer, like, keep in mind, Christopher Nolan is one of the few guys like Tom Cruise who actually values people going to movie theaters to watch this film. So this is one that's definitely worth seeing in a movie theater if you have a chance.
Is this correct?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I thought her performance was pretty amazing. I mean, her character was pretty impactful, and
Right.
and in her scenes. I mean,
Kirby.
especially the scene once again in the interrogation room in front of Emily Blunt. I mean, it was just fantastic, and she's on the screen for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I
gotta
think
see
she
this.
made a really
Bettina,
good impact.
you made the point about the sound mixing. Just how bad is that? Because I think that would kind of get on my nerves.
It wasn't as bad as it was in Tenet. I
Okay.
think I wasn't, we were in the IMAX like theater because that was the only one that was playing at the time that worked for us. So I have to say that I heard most of the dialogue, but there were still a few key scenes here and there that like I need to watch the movie again with closed captions on so I can catch some of the parts.
Yep.
You know.
Like I said, this movie is definitely worth the price of admission. And I honestly thought like the score of this film was actually really good too. It almost borders on kind of like Hans Zimmer like as well. But I mean, it's like I said, a lot of things about this film
who did it?
work.
know?
I would
it
have to
his-
look,
'cause-
but I don't believe it was him.
Because Nolan works with Hans though quite a bit, doesn't he? Hans is the one that did the Dark Knight,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Okay. All
I
right,
think
that's
it's the
what I
last
thought.
time.
Yeah, he does everything that he does.
Yeah, that's
pretty
what I
much.
thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to. All right. So I understand Barbie's going to have a huge weekend, but in the long run, let's say 8 months from now, who grosses more money, Barbie or Oppenheimer? I say Oppenheimer. Jacob?
Well, the word of mouth is really good on Oppenheimer, so it depends on how steady they close in the next couple of weeks. I mean, for Barbie, it really comes down to the second week. If they have like an MCU level drop off where like 70% of the audience dies in the second week, I think they'll end up being somewhere between like $400-500 million at the end of its run. If it just completely like dies off. With
It would have to
Oppenheimer,
completely, because it's
Yeah.
at 300 almost already.
yeah, I tend to think unless the word of mouth is really good, I still think Barbie itches it out only because it's got to such a better start. But I do think Oppenheimer will be more consistent over the next few weeks.
I do.
Oh,
too. I
never
think it will
underestimate the power of lazy parents.
grow.
Barbie takes this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Okay. And Tina?
I agree. Just on the number of people, whether it was young women or families that were going to see Barbie, and they were all decked out in pink. I mean, even dads coming in and had just picked it up from the craft store, pink cotton shirt, kind of thing. That I mean, they were really very into it. I mean, even friend of the channel Tugs. I mean, she got all dressed up and she just looked absolutely gorgeous and was very
She-
excited, and then
so sad.
sadly disappointed by it.
I
Second
know.
movie ever, right? Second
She looked
movie ever. She
heartbreaking.
wanted money back,
Yeah.
and Last Jedi was
Yeah.
one, and this was the other. I even saw
It wa-
that Star Wars girl. She was like the best part was Sarah. Sierra. What's that kid's name from Superbad?
Michael
Oh, yes, he
Cera.
played
Yeah.
Alan. His
Yeah.
his character was actually really cool, and he even broke the fourth wall a couple of times in the movie.
Right.
So that I thought was pretty clever
Yeah, look
for
at
an
I like
otherwise
that
bad movie.
the utter silence before the shockwave from the bomb scene alone is worth going to see Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only two movies for me that better than Oppenheimer right now is there's a South Korean film called The Child, which if you have a chance to go see that one is brilliant. I said it before, it's even better than John Wick 4, the last one that came out earlier this year. And then Sound of Freedom, I would still put a little bit higher than that one because it was definitely more, I say, ironed out than the Oppenheimer was. Like I said, with Oppenheimer, it's a slow build. Like you just have to stick with it for a while, but it does pick up tremendously as the film goes on. So
Yeah, and I love those movies though. Those are some of the best movies out there. The slow burn. It can't be too slow, but a good
Yeah.
slow burn. A lot of people said like the first hour could be a half. You know, like it could have been a little condensed. The last hour was a
Probably.
little long, but you know what?
but I mean, at the same time,
Nolan
those
has it
people,
right.
those people complaining about the runtime. I mean, if it was like Avengers 6, you guys sit there for 5 hours, so don't
Yeah.
start here complaining like, oh, it's too long.
Yeah.
No, I'd only sit 5 hours for Loki.
Yeah, you would. I just want to tell Biggles that wasn't my fault. That you got hid. It happens sometimes. Sorry, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick little sidebar here before we jump over to our next topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, do you guys know? I'm assuming you guys are old enough to remember a little thing called American Gladiators, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure,
if you guys didn't know this, there's currently 2 dueling American Gladiators documentaries that are out right now. One's from
One's on
Netflix and
Netflix,
one is
yeah.
from ESPN. So what I found out is that ESPN did a 30 for 30 on American Gladiators. The only problem is that the overwhelming majority of the American Gladiators refused to do that one because I guess they still have an out and out with the co-creator of American Gladiators, who was revealed throughout the course of the documentary. Basically just stole the idea from like another guy, took it to Hollywood and got all the money and fame and credit for it. So yeah, a little bit of a bag of douche there. That's like the ESPN one. And then on the one on Netflix, they actually got the legitimate old gladiators to be on there and basically tell the real story of the American Gladiators. And those guys got absolutely screwed out of money like hard. Like they signed like one of those, what was it, perpetuity contracts, where it was basically like, this is what we're going to pay you. You're not getting any pay increase. And if you ask for more money, we're just going to replace you. It was one of those type of contracts. So you're talking about guys, you only got paid like $500 like an episode for the show that they were on, even though it was like one of the biggest shows of like the 1990s. And I think when 4 of them tried to like come up and like ask for like more money because they're selling merchandise, they're going on tour, they sell at Madison Square Garden at one point, and they're just getting nothing. The studio said, yeah, you're all fired. And then that's essentially what killed the show. So
Damn. Yeah, and let's not forget about Sound of Freedom. It's still in theaters, and
it's still making a lot of money too.
Still making a lot of money. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I
My
was
oldest
just
son
gonna-
hasn't been to a theater in a couple of years because it gives him anxiety, and with the sound and just everything, he's just not really comfortable. But he's like, no, I'm going to see this movie, Mom, because it's too important not to.
Good for
And that's a
you.
23-year-old. I mean,
I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
keep in mind, Sound of Freedom's already passed $110 million. The original budget was only about 15.
I'm gonna be his uncle. I'm just gonna say that's my kid right there. That's my boy. I'm proud of him. I've never met him, but I'll be an uncle now. These are some just in between refresher. We got some best cosplay, and the first picture from Variety would be Barbie. But some of these cosplays, man, I'm sorry. Everything everywhere all at once cosplay was kind of funny. Snow White, okay, at least you got this one going on. I think she's the boulder. I thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
That is great. But what is funny on this is they're all early Indiana Jones. You got Sean Connery.
Right.
You got none of them are Crystal Skull. This dude might have the Dial of Destiny, but it's a chick, so go figure. You got the guy with the rod. I like that one. The dude in the back with the Doom stone. I like that. Batman. Okay. Arkham Knight.
They had some cool cosplayers when we went to go see Flash, and then whatever the last Disney movie was that were outside, like signing autographs and taking pictures with the kids. It was really cute. Sorry.
This is a great one. No, don't be sorry. This is a great one. Robin and Batman. I like that one. The Peacemaker. Riddler. We got Austin Powers. I thought this was a good one.
I miss Austin Powers.
Oh, same here, man. Same here.
Yeah.
But I
Rick
don't
that
want
is
another one. Though.
Genius.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby. I like that one. Ricky Bobby Batman. This one was, I thought, even though I'm not a Miles Morales fan, that was brilliant. I mean, even just to wear that top, like that's good. Pee Wee Herman, that was pretty funny. Mr. T and the eggs and stuff, that's good. You got Mario Kart, has to be Mario Kart. Catwoman, wow, flexible young lady.
Funky. Hello.
Yeah, okay. A Wolfman Zeus, I guess. I don't know. But it looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Last of Us.
adorable.
Okay. All right. Mariachi band. I don't know. I like it though. Wolverine. Okay. I'll give her that.
Nice.
That's a dope one. Even though she actually has Weapon X, or not Weapon X. What's her name?
X-23.
Yeah, she has her claws because I only see. Oh, maybe she has 3. I only see
A little
2.
bit of Leia there on the side. I see.
Yeah, a little Leia. You gotta have Leia. Haunted Mansion cosplay.
Aw.
We got some more Haunted Mansion. That's kind of funny. Breaking Bad. That's great. We got a. I always forget that. I always want to say they're twerks. Help me, Mark. Left-hand corner, blue, with their
Is that Quark? No,
Twilight.
that's Star
Oh,
Trek.
the Twi'leks?
Twi'leks.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonder Woman. All right. Vampire, because you always need a vampire. Willy Wonka. I like that.
Oompa Loompa.
That's a good one. Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa. Karate Kid. All right. A little reverse there, though. It looks like Johnny won. Zombie. Oh, that's like the zombie cosplay for Captain America and Captain America.
Fake Captain America.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Judge Dredd. Some cool shit. I mean, people took the time.
That's nice.
One thing I heard Gary say was, without Hollywood there, it was better. It was about the fans again.
Cool.
And that's really cool.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
So awesome. What's his name? Not Borat, but the guy who plays Borat plays that character. Good Joker one. I thought that was a good one. We got 2 more. We got the bisexual guy from. Is that who he's playing? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. From The Witcher. No, not The Witcher. But he's playing the mandolin, so I don't know.
Huh. It's the weird, the steampunk goggles, though. That's what makes me think it's not, Skier.
And the rubber ducky, I don't know who that is. And then Bash the Pinata. So I thought that was a little fun, a little something fun to look at before we watch a trailer, everybody. X-23, yeah. Walter White was awesome too. But we're about to watch the newest Marvels trailer.
Oh boy.
Because it's important, guys. It's an important part of our future coming up. So be prepared, everybody. This is Marvel's, I believe, the 2nd official trailer, but I may be wrong. It might be the 1st.
Hold on to your seats.
I think this is. No, this is the first one, like a teaser trailer. So this would be the first official trailer.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though the teaser trailer was like 3 minutes long, but somehow
it was a long one.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody is watching from here and all of a sudden we appear somewhere else, I might have to mute this or cut it out, but I don't give a shit. If I don't make money that much off of YouTube anyway. So Rumble, feel free to listen.
You guys making money on YouTube?
How about it? Jeez.
Do you have like the screen up so that everyone can see it?
I should probably do that. I'm watching it as we speak.
Yeah, I figured you
How is it?
screwing this up.
It sucks. It sucks, but you guys can watch it with me, I guess. God, I suck at that. All right. Oh shit, I did it again. All right, here we go.
Carol Danvers, prodigal child of the Milky Way.
Nick Fury, my favorite one-eyed man of intrigue.
How goes it out there?
You know,
Flirting.
cold, no air, Space.
She's so just something about her makes me want to just be like, I hate her.
She's from everything that I've heard, she's not a very pleasant person to be around, even from people who would otherwise be on her side. She's just one of those type of people.
Right. Yeah, she just has that personality about her.
That line delivery is so flat.
Right. It's so flat, but it's almost like.
And then that's the one that's supposed to get you hyped for the rest of the trailer. It's like, oh yeah,
bring it on.
Can't wait.
Literally, the girl who played Miss Marvel. I'd rather have her started because you can tell that girl wants to be Miss Marvel.
Captain Marvel, the Annihilator. You took everything from me, and now I'm returning the favor.
So I guess she has a bangle like Miss Marvel because her powers aren't mute. She's not a inhuman or mutant or anything. She's
Miss Marvel.
Is that a bangle or a bungle?
It's a bangle, but as far as Miss Marvel is both a mutant who gets her powers from a bangle. So instead of being an inhuman in the MCU, she's officially a mutant.
Wait a minute. If she's a mutant, why does she need the bangle?
I don't know. It enhances her powers. It channels her powers.
Okay, I'll go with channel maybe. Okay. All right, we'll go with that. But this is the other bangle, I'm guessing. Because she only has one in the show, right?
Right, she has only one, so this is the other one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very riveting right now. And this is a Kree captain, I guess, who's kind of like Ronin. I guess.
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
Really, no one cares.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, you know what? You're stuck. Just want you to know we're definitely going to get struck because it's intergalactic coming up. Beastie Boys always gets you struck.
Yeah.
But I got to say they kind of did the like the intergalactic bang to each one of them. They timed it perfectly. I got to give it something, right? Because so I'm not a hater.
So it's just Ronan the Accuser, but Ronan the Accuser with a vagina now, right?
Yeah, so maybe she'll win.
What is happening to me? She's entangled our light-based powers, so we switch places whenever we use them.
Dumb.
But by the way, just real quick, I don't know who thought that Captain Marvel costume was a good idea with having like the no sleeves because it looks incredibly cheap by doing it like that. Like this is supposed to be like a $250
So this one right here, where like kind of. So this is her new outfit. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like
she's so jacked.
Oh yeah, that's keep in mind. This is the person who we were trying to claim a couple years ago was the strongest Marvel character in the entire universe.
Trying to claim it.
And,
she looks like in this movie she needs a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling
you,
she needs an ass.
Something like that too.
She's
there's a list of needs.
Powers.
There's a list of needs. Yeah.
So we switch places whenever we use them.
Let's not forget Monica Rambeau is the person who let Wanda go because all she did was enslave a group. She's let her go to kill even more people.
She's the character who literally had that cringeworthy line, "They'll never know what you did for them," as you kidnapped them for months. And then not only that, all Wanda did was go into the multiverse and kill the alternate.
Kill everybody.
Not only that, but killed the alternate universe version of her own mother.
Yes.
So
she's insane. But yeah, yay. For her imaginary children, don't forget. So
yeah.
So we switch places whenever we use them.
Strong theory.
You can absorb light. I can see it. And Kamala.
Who's Kamala?
Hi. She can turn light into physical matter, which I have never heard of.
I could tell.
Wait a minute. She could turn light into physical matter. Monica can see it. And what was Captain Marvel? What?
Their powers have been poorly defined because they've changed so much with the characters over the last 10, 15 years. Nobody really knows what any of these people do anymore.
That is the dumbest thing I can see it. Like that's one of the dumbest.
I can see it too. I mean, we can all see it. What's What are you talking about?
I mean, like,
That makes no sense, man.
they introduced her to the MCU, and in the middle of introducing her to the MCU, not only retcon her entire history, but retcon her powers in the middle of the movie too. Because she's supposed to have like the big giant hands, but apparently she doesn't even have that anymore. And like now she's like a mutant now for some weird reason.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
that doesn't make any sense.
So I'm pretty sure she was an Inhuman, right?
Yeah,
That's what
that
she
was
was.
that was before they had the rights to what was it, mutants when they bought Fox.
Right. Okay. All right. They can fly now. Exactly. That's kind of what I felt.
Totally show you.
So it's just chicks versus chick.
Chickamania is running wild, brother.
Will the MCU completely convert to just women movies? Is
I
that
mean,
what we're about to get?
Dude, I've been saying it at this point. This whole thing's been dead since Endgame. You might as well just do A-Force at this point because no one cares about the name of the Avengers anymore. Everyone who anyone cared about is gone and has gone on to other things. Just do A-Force. Just do your big, giant, female-led superhero universe and then let this whole thing die because no one
set
cares.
it up in Endgame, like the women all in the middle of a massive millions, hundreds of thousand person battle, all find each other to be like, we got this.
I mean, they're talking about the new Avengers team is going to be Shang-Chi and Shuri Black Panther. It's like, who effing cares?
Right.
Johnny boy, I can ask for your manager. The other can wear the haircut and the other can post on social media about their victimization. I thought that was pretty good. That was good. Here we go. Let's
I'll stop this right there for a second. They're trying so hard to mix this Beastie Boys song in with the trailer, but it clearly does not work with what they're trying to do here. Like, it doesn't mesh well with this trailer, like, at all. You see how awkward that transition was from that line to trying to like do some kind of like weird trailer. Like, you can't do it. Like, you guys picked the wrong song. Like,
I think that the MCU in general has done Beastie Boys dirty because when they used their song in the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, it totally did not apply to the scene.
Did they use Sabotage?
No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They used No Sleep Till Brooklyn
for Guardians. You got to admit, though, that scene was pretty kick-ass to that music. I don't know if it went to the scene, but it definitely enhanced it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I was bouncing around like a schoolgirl. I was enjoying the music. It just, I didn't think it.
Yeah,
the transition wasn't done well. Maybe that was what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
they should have used Destiny's Child. I mean, they could have used what's her name from like the 70s, Carole King or something. All right, let's go on.
She's targeting every planet we call home. I would never.
I muted myself. That line right there. She's targeting every planet we call home. Okay, Miss Marvel's from Earth.
The other one's from Earth.
Yeah, and I think the third one is from Earth. Now, I know Carol Danvers might like have a shack up in a couple different places.
I mean, even technically she's from Earth too.
Earth. Yeah,
I mean, all three of them are technically from Earth, but I know like she's been around other planets. So if they're targeting any planets, it's the planets that you're associated with, not all of us. So that's a you problem, not a us problem.
Right. All right, let's move on with this.
I would never choose to bring anybody into this.
You are not the only thing standing between this and the universe.
Oh my god, we're a team.
Higher.
Further.
Faster.
Who's that good kitty goose?
I can't. Can you?
I got it.
the kid who plays Miss Marvel, I actually like her. I do.
I
I think she's
loved
funny.
I love that series, and when I was watching it with my niece, I mean, she just lit up through the whole thing. It was very well done for the
Because it
young
was made for
girls.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
exactly,
it
and
goes. See,
Yep. Yep.
so
Yeah, it pulled this way. Yeah, if there's going to be anything good about this film, it's all going to be from
she's
her.
adorable.
Mhm.
Yep.
She's adorable. Look at that face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Can she hear us?
Welcome to
Maybe.
Sporking News. Thank you for being here.
Yep.
Stop it. Stop it. I know I'm great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay then. Thank you for being here. No, she you could tell she
How old is she? Are
loves-
we gonna get in trouble for that?
No, I
No,
don't
she's
think
like
so.
20. She's fair game.
But she is
Okay.
she actually likes comic books. Like she went after at least that's what they report. Like she was pissed that they were confusing like the different like 616, you know, like the different universes. Like she was like telling Kevin Feige like you guys don't have this right. Like I'll give that
Yeah.
kid credit if she really did stuff like that. She like likes the comics and she got the role. God bless her, because I watched the show to review it and she was charming enough, you know, like you could tell she took what they gave her and she did the best she could with it. And it was definitely made for younger people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish it, but it didn't bother me. You know, the episodes that I did see, sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't the target, obviously, but I think it was passable.
Right. Right. Compared to other like Loki.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I
Or you
can't
could
wait
do
for
better.
season 2.
Oh my God.
I'll review it for you, Scott.
Oh man, you should do a live stream. I'll join you. 'Cause that'll
She
be
really is a bad take. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah, go get it. Go get it. Bad take. And true, you can't blame an actor for taking their opportunities. You can only blame actors when they treat fans like garbage. And one of them is in this movie. I mean, Brie Larson was the queen of disrespecting the
She's
fans.
literally the one who started this whole thing to the point
Close
where
to it.
Rotten Tomatoes changed their entire rating score because of the first Captain Marvel movie that came out.
Yeah, I mean, pretty close to it. She's just seems like a terrible human being. Like she might have people that love her, but she seems the type that
Well,
pushes a lot of people away.
There's been a couple of rumors behind the scenes. One was the fact that they decided to make this an ensemble movie rather than just straight up Captain
Right.
Marvel 2 because they figured that by adding the other characters, it would entice more people to watch it because Brie Larson isn't exactly enticing for most mainstream audiences. And then apparently she was very upset with the fact that that they basically took her solo film like away from her. So there's been a lot of back and forth behind the scenes that of course they can't let anyone know about because they don't want people to be like, oh, so we were actually right about Brie Larson this whole time while you guys were defending her. That's weird.
I don't know. It's not going to be a long show tonight, guys. I apologize. I did want to bring out something before, and if you guys have anything you want to talk about, we will. But I got this. I haven't even opened it yet. I just opened the package. And that's the first thing I get to see. It's a magnet that is definitely going on my refrigerator tonight. So I'm not going to open it all the way. I'm actually going to do a video. I bought this for my kids. Because I know Jay well enough to know that if he says it's for kids, it's for kids. So I can't wait to open this and look at the artwork and read it with my kids. I have my daughter maybe read it to me. My 9-year-old,
right.
you know.
I was one of the early readers of
Beautiful.
when it was in novel form,
Mhm.
and it was such an amazing story. So I
Right.
can't wait to read the graphic novel.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to read it. Jay's a good person, man. He's a good human being. He deserves what he gets. Jealousy? No. You know, flying everywhere.
When Mr. Bojan met Jay, and
Yeah.
I mean, and he and Jay's brother got along really, really well with my husband and the two boys. And they were
Yeah.
talking like old World War II weapons and tanks
Mm-hmm.
and this, that, and the other. It was adorable. But but the Jim said to me afterwards, he's like, "Damn." I said, "I want my kids to grow up to be Jay and not me. Isn't that horrible? And he's a bad dad." You know? I'm like, "No, he's just an awesome guy."
Nah, he's a good human being, and he has when he knows you well enough, he has a great sense of humor. He could definitely slay with the best of them. You know, like he can come at you.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that about him. You know, but is Jay the
Gives great
best
hugs
one?
too.
He's a great hugger. He's so big, so big. I feel
Yeah.
like a small child in his arms. Good dude.
Yeah, and
Good
you see,
dude.
I'm a big guy too, right? So
Yeah.
when he ran up on me and hugged me, I'm like, he's hugging me so tight. I'm like, oh yeah, I hugged him tighter. He's like, oh yeah, I thought we were gonna like fall on the ground and roll around in Times Square. It's like, yeah, but
I gotta
he's
say,
a great
Ryan's
guy.
a nicer guy though, and privately, Ryan's sweet. Okay, he comes on the show more often. I have to say that.
When I
no,
when I
but-
first met Jay, I said that I'm at the age that I don't know whether or not to marry you or adopt you.
right. But yeah, I can't wait to do a video on that. Hopefully it'll be out this week. I'm definitely gonna have my kids reading it and stuff. You will not see them on YouTube, but I will give you their reviews and let you know what they think of it, because I think it's important. You know, everyone says, you know, create your own. He went and did it, man. And I've been thinking about it like a manga to become an anime for my little Sporky character. I have an idea that's like a cross between Black Clover and a couple other ones. So I'm hoping someday I can make that. But he did it. He went and did it.
And I should say too is that it also invites conversation, you know, with your kids too, because it's very much about being a misfit, being different, and is it okay to be different? You know, especially because sometimes you do have to walk alone in this world. You know what I mean? And the way, you know, the kid here has to really, he's like going through this terrible, awkward thing, and you know, he has to face that. So I think that a lot of kids can relate to that. I was saying on Twitter to him that if I'd had this story when I was a kid, maybe I wouldn't have been as screwed up as I was.
Right.
You know, thinking I was always so different and stuff like that. It's
Right.
okay. So, you know, I like that he made his character in here so vulnerable.
Yeah.
In that it does invite that conversation. So I think he did a great job with that. And this is just the beginning. You know, there's more to it.
Beautiful, man. I'm really proud to be able to say, you know, I consider him a friend. He thinks of me as 50 yards away. I get it. Whatever. No big deal. It's up in a couple weeks anyways. He'll have to get a new one. So that time different, that 1 week, I'm coming for you, Jay.
So it's kind of like a Mad and Comics division relationship then?
A little bit. I mean, I'm not outside his window because he I don't know where he lives yet, but I will find him. But yeah, Jay is a good dude, and I hope people support that and any of his next projects, his all his different channels, Geeks and Gamers that he's involved with. I wish them all the best. It's so awesome. You know, I've been following Quarter Black and Dave Landau's new show, and it's just like these people that I've at least, you know, Quarter Black streamed with once or twice, and you know, like Gary blowing up. It's just awesome to see people that I know making it in what they love doing. Like, that's the dream for all of us, you know? So, and it's everybody in the chat that makes that possible, which is amazing, you know? I wish.
But the point that I've been making too,
yeah.
I just want to add to that.
Please.
The point that I've been making too is we have to protect one another as well, because it's great to see all of the independent creators doing this and everything, but I can already see the writing on the wall. We're being called alt-right. We're being called hate groups.
Yeah.
Those who would regulate the industry will inevitably come for all of us. You know what I mean? So it's like we definitely have to support one another and let these people know that, you know, our market is secure. This is actually what we want. This is what we will preserve. You know, because just doing it, like I said, is putting a target on our backs, because the industry is they're trying to shift the consciousness of the world. So this is a threat to have people actually still, you know, putting out family values and, you know, and God forbid imagination in their stories and stuff, where you can go any way you want to go. Everything is so dictated now. You know, they want you to go this way. They want you to promote this way of thinking, you know, gender, all of this stuff.
Yep.
So, so we got to protect these things that we're doing as well.
And,
you know?
and also, creators can't attack each other. I see that way too much in certain areas. It's like, just be happy for someone who made, like, I genuinely, I mean, I'm happy for people when they succeed. I don't understand the idea that someone you know does well and you're not, like, you want to badmouth them or undercut them. Like, this is amazing. He thought of this project, created this project, and now people are buying this project and want more. Like, why would you ever attack somebody? Like, that's something I can't understand. I guess I never will.
Well, look at, you know, what Rip is going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here he is, a so-called black creator. I just think he's a dope creator. But,
He's
if
dope,
you want to say a black creator, fine. Here he is, a black creator. And you would think these SJWs would be applauding it. But it's very telling that these are the very people, these liberals and stuff like that are attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because they're afraid. They're afraid of independent creators because they're afraid of independent thought. Right. So that's what I'm saying. We have to be on guard for this type of thing. It's real, man.
Yeah, and look out for the people we care about and make sure, we support them. So first of all, everybody in the chat for anybody's show, I appreciate you guys like more than you guys will ever know. Like when I first hit 10 people in the chat, I thought that was amazing. And then we got up to a couple hundred and fuck YouTube. But anyways, we're not going to go over that anymore. But it's amazing that you guys come every week and bust balls and just have fun with us. And I really appreciate that. Hopefully I can start making a little bit of content a week. I'm going to try. Make sure, like Mark, your newest video was, you hit it, man. You hit it.
Yeah, Zax was pointing that out. And I thank you for that shout out in the chat there. Yeah, I did go a little fucking crazy at the end of that video. But, it just drives me nuts. The hypocrisy of this, that's what's going on here. And we're talking about the country song, try that in a small town, which is, there's nothing
Jason
wrong
Aldean,
with that.
Right? Jason Aldean.
Yeah, Jason Aldean.
That to me was the funniest thing. That I love it when people pretend to be upset by songs like that, because every other degenerate rap song over the last 5 years has been propped up and paraded around in the media. Like it wasn't too long ago that what was that's really stupid rap song from the chick with the red hair that was just awful, and people were like playing that 1,000 times over. They have no problem with any of that. I mean, it was only not that long ago that Wet Ass Pussy was like the number one song in this country not too long ago. But all of a sudden, this music is dangerous. It might inspire violence. It's like, really? That's the angle you want to take with this?
Yeah.
I mean, that song actually got me emotional. I love when he says, "Round here we take care of our own." God damn, I want to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel that. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But of course, these people would have you believe that black people should be offended because what? We want to come in and be sucker punching people? Like that offends me because you would defend yourself against a criminal, and of course I'm the criminal. So I'm supposed to relate to that.
It's the whole idea of, you want to defend your property? Oh, is that a threat? It's like, no, if you leave my property alone, I won't shoot you. Oh, so you're threatening me? It's like, yes, I'm threatening you if you do try to destroy. Like, it's this whole game this mental gymnastics game that we try to play. It's just like, it's so obvious what they're doing, and it's like, come on.
What kills me is that it's CMT, right? CMT actually took it down. Where do you know your audience?
Well, did you hear that Blake Shelton broke a $30 million deal with CMT over the Jason Aldean cancellation?
Good.
Well, here's another thing people need to remember too. It's like, just because it's country music does not mean it's conservative. Country music has not been conservative for a long time. So I think people kind of assume that, because people down south like listen to country music, that you think that'll be the audience they pander to. It's like they just had like drag queens at the CMT Awards not too long ago. It's like it's just as broken as Hollywood is.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
I wouldn't say Achy Breaky Heart was too conservative, and that was back in the early 90s. So you know.
So just real quick, Blake Shelton didn't break it. It was a satire thing.
It was?
Because they said something about another guy who told them to take him down. Look, I understand they're not gonna lose money, but at least come out and support the guy. And say this is wrong. Because Jason Aldean, I'm not the biggest fan of his. He kind of marital. He did his thing, but But this is an artist. This is his song. It's not about hoes. It's not about Satan. It's not about debauchery. It's about protecting what we believe is our core values and our rights. And people attack that, and CMT actually took it down. Who do you think your audience is? Everyone's Taylor Swift fans? No. I think it's pretty stupid.
Just for the record, the number one song in America right now is Gunna, called "Fuck You Mean." That's literally the name of the song. But they're complaining about the country guys lyrics. It's like,
and of course, I had a couple of my longtime subscribers announced to me, and I don't understand why they always do that. They got to announce unsubbed. Okay, you know what I mean? Don't sing me a song. Just go. You know where the door is. But they had to make this announcement to me. I can't believe you sucking up to the alt-right unsubbed. I'm like, your dumbass didn't belong here in the first place.
Right, because you
know what I mean?
You don't
you don't
people
get
don't
it.
understand you have a right to say what you want to say and debate me in the comment section. I might actually reply because I don't have any comments. So, but
by the way, in the private chat, I just sent you the lyrics to the song that people aren't complaining about, and just post that to the song that they are complaining about.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
They're all just trying to destroy community, because anytime we're not fighting against each other, we might be paying attention to what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So.
Bingo.
When people realize it's not about race, it's not about gender, it's not even about sexuality, it's about it's a class war, and people warping part of our own class to think that these things are okay for even themselves, but for children. And that's why we're fighting each other. But it's actually a class war, because if we're not looking at what the upper classes are doing, then we won't all bond together and make a change. That's the problem, at least in my eyes. He unsubs for me daily, Biggles. That's why they hit him. That's why they hit him before. I tell him once a live show, just hide Biggles for a minute and just piss him off. He can't spell. That was a great video. So I hope everyone goes and checks that out. Anything else? Any good? Oh, Jesus, I'm not used to having the microphone right here. Any other topics we got? Anybody? I just saw the little video that Tugs put out. Poor thing. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
Did you hear that the story that Tom Holland earlier I think it was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, said that he doesn't really like Hollywood that much. He's not a big fan of Hollywood. He doesn't really like what he's seen and what people have become. And he actually said that when he did his latest TV show that's on Apple TV, that he had to take a break from acting for a year because it emotionally broke him. And literally the day after that interview came out, the scene of the TV show that quite literally broke him, you can even say it buck broke him, released, and it's like, okay, now I understand why he hates Hollywood now. So I get it.
Yeah. That was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah.
Keep in mind, he's still currently Spider-Man. So now there's a video of the internet of Tom Holland getting Donkey Konged by multiple big black dudes on a television show. So that's going to live in infamy now.
Yeah.
It's so messy.
What a world. What a world.
Yeah. Just something I saw too earlier was when the national team for soccer, U.S. women, they were doing the national anthem, maybe 3 or 4 of them actually put their hands on their hearts, and I think I only saw one that actually sang the anthem. When are we going to start just hating our country because of what people tell us?
Well, I mean, the U.S. women team has been protesting the national anthem for like the last decade. So, I mean, it's nothing new for them. Like, it's on brand for them because they pretty much represent, like I said, the woke Me Too white feminism movement of the current age. So, of course, they're not going to stand for the United States of America, even though they expect us to be like, oh, yeah, USA. It's like, you guys won't even stand for the anthem for the team that you guys play for. It's like everybody else has no problem standing for their anthem, but here in the United States, we're not going to do that because the patriarchy or something like that. It's like, get out of here.
Well, you see what Jill Scott just did too. You know how she butchered the national anthem.
Yeah.
She changed the words on it. That lost me some subs too. It's like people just don't want to hear the truth anymore. They don't understand what's going to be coming for them in the future if you don't invest in this country right here that we live in. Everybody has the right to complain and stuff, but they've taken it to an extreme.
They've taken it to hate that they have the right to free speech.
Well, I think I even mentioned this with you before. We talked about this last week. The idea of telling black people to go back to Africa was deemed offensive back in the time where black people actually wanted to be here in the United States of America. Now we fast forward 70, 80 years later into the future, and now they fundamentally believe that, this place just wants to kill you. It hates you. This is a terrible place built on slavery. They just want your blood in the streets. And when you hear people like Jill Scott say that, it's like, look, you're worth $12 million. If you
Right.
honestly, with your heart, believe that about the United States, you can literally book a ticket anywhere in the world and use that money to get the nicest home in whatever other country you think is more suitable for you. It's like, if you truly, honestly hate this country that much, just leave. Literally,
But
just go.
but she won't do it because she's trying. First, she has to infest and infect the youth. You know, because what she was talking about, you know, she's telling the kids, because she's singing to the black child specifically in her rendition. And what I was pointing out in my video is, I'm like, you got to look at the rate of self-harm, you know, in the young black community. There's a reason why these kids don't feel like they have a future, they have a life. And you want to keep perpetuating that by saying you don't have a country, your country wants to kill you. It's not rocket science. Can't you see what you're doing to these kids and their psyche? It's not coming from so-called white supremacy. It's coming from your loud fucking big mouth auntie over here who's telling you you don't stand a chance.
Right. Well,
you know,
LeBron too.
It's
LeBron's telling
not
kids to run from cops. If you see a cop, run, because you know
right,
you're gonna get
right.
That's the dumbest thing you can do. I mean,
Like I say, you're
seriously,
basically
white,
telling
black,
your kids
no
that they
matter
have
what.
to be on guard 24/7 because anyone just wants to kill you, because this is the country that we live in, right? And keep in mind, it's not white America giving your kids that message. You're the ones giving your kids that message, and because that's all they know, because of the household they grew up in, that's all they're ever gonna know. And then they're gonna go out to the world with this little giant jaded chip on their shoulder, and then now all of a sudden everybody else has to deal with your messed up kids because of all the lies you've been, shunning to them for the last,
All I know is this.
God knows how long.
Well, all I know is this. You know, in the '60s, they preached love and compassion with one another. Granted, a lot of them were commie hippies, but like that idea through the '70s and '80s, like love one another, respect people, don't judge a person by how they look. By the '90s, we didn't judge people by how they looked. I don't know one person that I grew up with that was like, I hate that person because they look a certain way. Like, it was just, you figured out, you met the person, you figured out if you guys got along or not, and then you moved on if you did, or you became friends. And then from the 90s to today, so it's like, 30 years, and then almost 25 years, it went back to an idea of, you're going to be killed by me because of my color of my skin, I'm going to kill you. Like, it's just dumb. Teach and preach love.
And
that's
listen,
all I
I
do
just
to
wanna-
my kids.
Go on, Tina.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay, I just want to just say this because I want to give respect to my ex-father-in-law, I guess, who passed away last week. And I wrote about this on Twitter. I put a little picture up with him and my son. He took him fishing. Bob was his name. And Bob is a white man, okay? My
I was going to say 75% chance I was going to say he was going to be a white guy.
Right. Who knew?
Sorry. Who
right.
knew,
but
Bob? Last name Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my wife and her family's from Brazil, and they married. Her mother married Bob, and Bob. Like I said, but Bob is my son's grandfather.
Yes.
That's why I wasn't here last weekend, because he took it very hard. He's actually still dealing with it. But the fact of the matter is this is the dynamic of America. You know what I mean? It's like, we know each other. We work together. We love each other. We're in all different types of relationships with one another. That man was there so much for my son. Like I said, he took him fishing. I love my father, but Bob was more of a grandfather to my son than my father, and I love my father, but it's just a fact, know? So, I can't invest in this ridiculous idea that we're all just supposed to be natural born enemies and we don't, get along and stuff like that. Bob was more than just his grandfather. He was also my friend. We had so many, political talks and everything like that. He was just such a great guy, and we're going to miss him forever, but we have to remember this is who we are, and stop letting these people try to divide us along these imaginary, stupid lines. When we get to know one another, if we actually get outside our front door and get off the computer and get from in front of CNN and Fox News, we get to know one another and we understand. We don't have to all just love each other, but we're not natural born enemies either. You know what I mean? So
Like I
yeah,
said,
I just wanted to rest in peace, Bob.
Hatred, discord, and strife are all tools of evil, not good. So when you understand that, a lot of things make a lot more sense.
It is, man. It is. So we're going to end this stream. Tina, you did have something to say. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it was all right. I was just going to mention that, growing up in Chicago, all the neighborhoods were very segregated, not necessarily in an evil way. There was just, I grew up in a Polish community, and there was
There's a
the
lot
Greek,
that
there
happen
was
in
the Greek
big
church
cities.
near
Yeah.
us and all of that. Right. So very much you talk about, oh, where'd you get that from? Oh, we were at the Greek family's house, or, the new Mexican kid who moved in down the block. And
Right.
it was very focused on ethnicity. And I thought it was really great. Like, and I know it sounds horrible, but when my kids were toddlers and they come over and say, "Oh, I made a new friend today. He's Tyler," and there's like 3,000 kids on the soccer field, and it was just, "Oh no, he's the kid with the green shorts." He didn't say, "Oh, it's the little black boy over there," or
Right.
"the Asian kid over there." It was very much kids were kids. And
Right.
there was no diversity. And here they're now sitting in college, and that's all they're being taught is that they are white males and they are the, start of all evil.
Yeah, it's
And it's just,
ridiculous.
it's such a shame because they started at a time where things were much more harmonious,
Yeah.
and
I'm glad
it's
my
sad.
kids grow up in a racially and culturally diverse like school. Like I
Mhm.
chose the area where we bought our house for that. I didn't want because I grew up. I went K through 8th. I think I had one person that was black that I went to school with for 1 year, and then I don't even think we had an Asian person. Like nobody. It was all white kids. And then in high school, I got to meet people of all different types, and it's like opened a world to me that people are all the same. Everybody has dreams. Everybody has fears. Everybody gets angry about stuff, and you judge a person by the character, and that's what I teach my kids. And I think if we all just stuck to that and told these people to F off, these nutcases that are the loudest on social media, telling us we have to accept who they are just because they are. No, I accept people for who they are because of their character, not because they chopped their penis off or they are this color or they look just like me. Like I judge a person by what I hear them say, and if I can actually learn something from them, that's a plus. Like learning is important, not yelling, fighting, and causing mayhem. So that's why I love this chat. You're all crazy. You all have a good sense of humor. That's another thing. A sense of humor is lost nowadays, so we need more of that. Laugh at yourself, laugh at others, have fun. Just don't be mean. That's fucking just don't be mean. That's what I'll say. So Tina, thank you for being here. You got any last words for the people?
Nothing much to say other than if you can see Oppenheimer in a theater, it's going to be an experience definitely different than your living room, unless you've got the greatest, sound system in the world. So please go see it. Great movie. And when I'm not hanging out with Mr. Scott, you can find me on Vinny Art's channel on Friday nights and Sunday nights. And rumor has it I might even make an appearance on Culture Casino show tomorrow night.
Oh,
Because
good
he's
show to be on.
he's gathering a bunch of ladies to chat about Barbie.
Nice.
So
Cool.
Thank you for being here, Tina. I appreciate it, Mark.
thank you.
Yeah, just more hell raising. Come on by, join the conversation. We all know what YouTube is doing to channels these days, so it's good to give me a view or two.
Right.
But I like to believe that it's well worth it. I try to make it as entertaining as possible, no matter what I'm talking about. So, come on through and laugh and think. Definitely.
Amen.
And thanks for always having me on, bro.
Oh, dude, you have a permanent guest spot on my show. I love talking to you, man. I can't wait to actually meet you someday. Hopefully you guys have a meetup for the Dark Council sooner than later, because that'll be awesome.
In October.
I don't live that far away.
We'll talk.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk. I love it. And Society Reviews, Jacob, my brother, what do you got going on?
So last night, me, Culture, Tom, and Paulie and Rob Motto talked about Barbie and Oppenheimer in great detail. So that's up on the channel right now. Monday night, we're doing the episode 2 of the Bible Lens podcast. We're talking about the compromise of the church. And then on Tuesday, we're doing the Barroom podcast. I think it was episode 58 now. So the subs have been moving a lot better now over the last few months. I'm only about 23 away from 1,000 on YouTube and about 8 away from 100 on Rumble. So
Awesome,
we're
man.
keeping the whole thing moving.
Keeping it moving. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Hold on, I'm going to share this. This is what we're going out on because I feel like it and I haven't heard this yet, but someone said it sounded amazing. So good night, everybody. Did I share it? Oh, God. Good night, everybody. Have a great one.